Hello everyone, and welcome to the summary of Italian Turn 8 of my solo playthrough of Axis and Allies North Africa. Well, first of all, let me make a small correction from the previous British turn. I moved the one of the Shermans back to Cairo because what I'd forgotten about, well, it's been destroyed by now, but what I'd forgotten about is that there was still a scout car present in Mersa Matruh, which meant that they were overstacked by one unit, so I moved one of the Shermans back. Well, as I already hinted at, there was actually a big battle for Mersa Matruh. The Italians spent 4 supply tokens, and the British also defended twice, but they held on. The Italians rolled better, especially on the first round of combat, but the British have some units left, and the Italians only had 1 supply token left at a certain moment. And they decided it wasn't really worth it because these 2 areas would be wide open, and these 2 were brought on later by the Italian truck. What else? These 2 units moved from Tripoli into Mareth. There's a couple of units here that were bought and placed in the Tripoli convoy. 1 infantry was placed in the Benghazi convoy. They also bought a destroyer and a couple of mine tokens. 1 over here, I believe 1 over here, and 2 over here, or something like that. Almost all mine tokens have actually been deployed, so in that sense, maybe they haven't deployed all the mine tokens where they'd like to. Maybe they would like to place a few more in Tripoli or whatever. But remember that you can only place 1 per territory per turn, or at least per border. Yeah, let me check that if it's per border or per territory. Anyway, if once they've all been deployed, that does mean, of course, that the opposing side can no longer buy them. So yeah, it's not like the Allies will be needing them so much at the time anymore, because soon they should start doing the attacking, although at the moment it doesn't really look like it over here. But of course, here there's, I guess, not that much reason for the Allies to put any mine tokens, but still, I mean, it's still a tactic to buy a couple of them to place them so the opponent won't be able to buy them. They also bought a sea mine token here, and during non-combat they moved a destroyer and 2 submarines there, and during deploying reinforcements and assigning convoy escorts, they placed a fighter from Sicily there. Of course, the British later could go round it, but it's basically to prevent the Americans from, well, or at least discourage them from placing too many units in the Algiers convoy. Because yeah, that is the closest one to the objectives of Tunis and Mareth, of course. So yeah, that's kind of the idea, but of course they could swing round and go for this. But the Germans will have their turn first, obviously. But yeah, if the British do decide to put all their sea units there, with 5 Italian supplies still there, of course, that does make it very difficult for the Axis there. Yeah, I think that kind of sums up the turn. Yeah, so again, thank you very much for watching, and see you after the American turn.